What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Darku, and today we're going to be going over how you can win yourself a perfect Milotic in this next PvE event. As per usual with these videos, we're going to give you all the information you need from start to finish, as well as some tips and tricks. So this is happening Friday the 14th of July 2023, literally the day of this video, or the night of this video, because it's happening at 23 UTC. So if you're British like me, that'll be a midnight, and if you're in Europe like Germany, it'll be 1 AM. So if you didn't know, Feebas can only be found with a super rod and in a certain tile location, and it changes every hour. So obviously this event is going to be a huge one because there's going to be so many people here and everyone trying to find that one spot. And hopefully there's not people absolutely everywhere. Hopefully we find the one spot and there's just going to be like hundreds of people on one spot. That'd be really funny. Anyways, I digress. Time to tell you the information that you need for this event. So to start us off then, once again, this event is happening at 23 UTC. You'll need to be in Hoenn on Route 119, which is where I am right now, and you're preferably on Channel 1. However, catching on any channel is fine, but Channel 1 is where most people will be, as well as the mods and CMs, etc. So at 23 UTC, you will then have 1 hour to catch as many Pokemon as you can to try and get the best score that you can, and then at the end of the 1 hour, you will have those 10 minutes to submit your one Pokemon entry. So in this event, obviously, it's scoring that comes into mind. You want first, second, and third place to be the highest score possible, and fourth place to be the lowest score possible. Now, just to settle any confusion, your score is not based on how many Pokemon and stuff you can catch, it is based on the one Pokemon. So scoring is actually the total sum of all of your IVs on one Pokemon, plus the species that it is, plus the nature bonus. So I have this Feebas right here for an example. So in this event, if you catch a Feebas, it's plus 7 points just because it's a Feebas. However, Carvanha, Tentacool, and Magikarp are all neutral catches for this event, so you can partake in the event if you catch one of those, but it just won't give you the plus 7 points. So let's say, for example, we've caught this Feebas in this event in the 1 hour that you get. I already have 7 points just because it's Feebas. Now if we go to the IVs, you'll notice this one has 101, so what you would do is you would take that 101 IV points, you would say plus 7, so actually I have 108 points total for this event. You would then check the nature to see if you've got the correct nature, and in this event you want a modest nature or a calm nature that gives you plus 3, and every other nature is just neutral, it doesn't matter. So if this had a modest nature, we'd have an extra plus 3 points, but because it's lonely, as you can see, we don't get any extra bonus points for that. So we get the plus 7 because it's Feebas, and 101 because of the IVs. So just a quick recap, it's your IVs, your species, and your nature in one Pokemon. It is not multiple Pokemon, just the one. So now the main information is out of the way, you need to use a Super Rod in a certain tile to try and get Feebas. Obviously you can get the other ones too, but if you want to try and get Feebas, you need a certain tile to try and get the Feebas. As you can see in the background, there's loads of people right now on Channel 5 currently catching Feebas in one tile. The one thing I will say in this event, if there is people everywhere, you could just right click and spectate and see if they found a Feebas. If someone's fighting a Feebas, they found the correct tile. So it's good to sort of spectate some players around just to see if anyone's actually found the Feebas, and then you can go to that tile as well and start super rodding in the same location. As mentioned earlier, the modest and calm natures actually give you a plus 3 score. So once again, it is worth bringing a Pokemon like my Gardevoir here, which has the Synchronize ability and a nature of Modest. So if we have Gardevoir up the front, as you can see, then at the very top left we actually have the Synchronize ability on, so it gives us a 20% chance for the wild Pokemon's nature to match. So obviously because we have Synchronize and Modest, the Feebas has a 20% chance to be Modest as well. So I would lead with Gardevoir if you're going for the Feebas highest points possible. After you lead with Gardevoir though, you want to switch to something like a Breloom or a Smeargle or anything that you can use personally to catch the Pokemon. So for instance, I've got this Breloom here that has Poison Heal and a Toxic Orb, so it will poison itself, and in return it will heal every turn, not get poisoned every turn. And it has the False Swipe move and the Spore move, so we can get it to 1 HP with False Swipe, and we can sleep it with Spore for the absolute best catch rate. So in fact, if you get Feebas to 1 HP and sleeping, it can in fact be caught with a Pokeball with 100% catch rate. So I'm now bringing up on screen all the Pokeballs and all the catch rates for like Feebas, Carvanha, Tentacool, and Magikarp. Feel free to pause the video here if you need to look at it any longer, but I'm just going to leave it on screen for a couple seconds, and we're moving on. So that's the main information out of the way, plus the tips and tricks, and I just want to say if you want to like really try hard for 4th position, you could once again do another synchronized mod like this, and just make sure it isn't the modest or the calm, if you really want to go out of your way to make sure you don't get the plus bonuses on the natures. However, there are no minus natures in this event and there's no minus catching, so if you want 4th place you could get Carvana, Tentacle, Magikarp, and make sure it doesn't have the modest or calm nature. If you have less than 30 total score, you have a really good chance of winning 4th place. And I will say if you have around 160 total score, you have a really high chance of winning 1st, 2nd and 3rd prize. So there you go, that's everything out of the way, and now you're thinking, okay, well after the 1 hour, how do I submit an entry? How do I do this? How do I give this to a mod? How does the mod know what I have? Do I have to mail it? Blah blah blah. No. So once the 1 hour of catching is over and you have your 10 minutes to submit an entry, you'll notice in the global chat, not right this second, but during the event, you'll see loads of CMs and mods all saying taking entries, and you can simply right click on their name like so and click whisper. Or if you're at the event on channel 1, you'll probably see loads of CMs and mods around. You could, like Devil Sinner right here is actually a CM and they're here right now, so I could right click on top of them right now. I could find them, I could hover over their name and then click whisper that way as well, and you'll notice in the very bottom left it does actually say that you're whispering that person. Obviously, by default, I love bothering Enzo in these videos. I'm going to right click on Enzo, whisper Enzo, and it definitely says we are whispering Enzo, and as you can see, he is a CM. So again, you can click on any CM and any mod, and you can submit your entry this way by whispering them, and you can simply drag and drop your one entry, like so. And if you don't want to drag and drop, or if you're on mobile and you're finding it hard to drag and drop, you can simply click this link button down here, click on Pokemon, and you can see my Feebas is there. I can click it there with the ID, and I can go ahead and just click send, and you'll notice it'll say whispers to Enzo Feebas. So that's my entry submitted. Now what you would do is wait a good 10 minutes later to make sure they've absolutely got your entry before putting it away, etc. Because if you put it in the PC straight away, they might not even be able to catch your entry, so make sure to keep the Pokemon on you during this event time. So just to look back on what I said, don't forget you get to submit one entry to one CM or moderator. You do not send multiple entries, and your score is not based on multiple entries. You just get the one Pokemon you send in, so make sure it's your absolute best or absolute worst if you're going for 4th place. So there you go, ladies and gents, that's all the information you need, the tips and tricks, and how you submit your entry for a chance to win. So as you can see in the background, everyone's now separated from the one spot, and that's because the Feebas spawn has actually relocated as they refresh every hour, if you didn't know. Once one person has actually found the Feebas spot, they usually shout it out and everyone will go to one spot again. Hopefully this happens during the event as well, and there's just loads of people going to one area. That'd be pretty fun. I want to give a massive shout out as well to Madara, who did his first event yesterday by watching one of my videos and realizing how to enter the event, and it was his very first time participating, and he actually won first prize, got a perfect Squirtle, and even won RP as well. The absolute legend actually ended up sending me the RP even though I refused it like 10 times. He still sent me it, and I super appreciate that. However, I want everyone to know that if you do watch these videos, you turn up to these events and you'll partake in, even if you win, please do not send me stuff. Please keep it for yourself, honestly. It's a nice gesture, but you guys have really earned it, and it's just super fun to do these events, even if I don't win. There you go, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you good luck on catching the Feebas and trying to win 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th prize to win that superior Milotic. And at the end here, I'll even tell you the IVs, moves, etc. that you would preferably want on your Milotic as well, just in case you win and you're interested. Hope you enjoyed. See you on another one. See ya! Psst. If you've missed these events and you don't want to miss any more, make sure to subscribe! I also stream on Twitch sometimes, so please go check that out. Thanks. Bye.